wait till the night before Christmas to be good.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Prehistoric Podcast, episode 4 in our 12 podcasts of Christmas. I'm Francois Denisian.
I'm Andrew Sorsdahl.
I've got a sneeze. And it's gone. I'm Brad Peterson. Hi.
So, the plan was today is we were gonna head out to
Well,
Brock.
we might be.
Well, we might still be, but we are going to head out to Brock to film some interview footage with Heather for the concert video.
Heather Aikman, she's the owner of the church in Brock. Check them out on their website. Be in the description of this video.
Absolutely.
Super awesome location. Had a lot of fun filming the concert there.
Yeah.
So what we did was we filmed a concert called The Concert in the Middle of Nowhere, which was kind of a promotional thing for her venue to show off the kind of facilities they had and stuff for larger bands that are coming through.
Yeah, it's on a major highway, so they do, I think we've said this before, but they get a lot of traffic from touring bands, especially in the summer, going through between Saskatoon and Alberta.
Yeah, Alberta, Calgary,
Edmonton. It's right on the way to both those places from Saskatoon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's just a great location for, really good acts to come through and stop by and play a set. And it's nice, small, intimate environment. Really cool place to catch a show.
Oh, absolutely. I think that she's going to do really well out there.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's pretty early in the morning. It's 8:54, as my car's clock says.
Here's we go. We're going to find out whether or not we're going to Brock.
And well, you're
sick. Heather's sick.
Okay.
That's okay. We can reschedule, I guess. Not a
Yep.
big deal.
Well,
We're gonna fucking podcast. We're gonna drive around.
Podcast.
We've invested too much time in this setup. We're not fucking around. We need hours of podcast
I
anyways.
was gonna say
So,
we need to do at least what, 3 hours today.
Yeah.
I mean, if we get 3 hours done today, then we'll have 6 done, and then we're halfway there. Anyways,
No,
right now,
we'll say 6 done. Sorry.
we're at Tim Hortons. We thought it might be funny to
Tape our
interactions.
Brad, you know what would be really funny?
What?
If you did the whole thing with an accent.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
We're on film here.
G'day. What should I do? My Australian accent.
Yeah.
Hello.
Do the Australian accent.
Okay. I'd like 3 large black coffee. No, fuck that. It's fucking tough to do. You fucking
I'd
cunt.
actually like a large French vanilla.
G'day. Okay.
Large French vanilla.
I'm gonna say 2 large French vanillas.
2 large French vanillas, please.
It's a French vanilla.
French.
I don't want it Australian or a New Zealand.
Vanilla.
Vanilla?
I would like a French vanilla.
A French vanilla.
Preferably from somewhere around the Paris region.
Paris.
Bagel belt.
Paris.
I'll take a bagel belt too, please.
Sausage. Sausage
Yeah,
bagel
Yeah,
belt.
2 sausage bagel belt.
3.
Sausage bagel belt.
I suggest
I'll take 3 sausage bagel belts, please.
on a cheese bagel.
Yes,
Please.
on cheese bagel.
Sounds good.
Or should I do top of the morning to you? I'd like 3 sausage bagel belts. No.
You gotta do
You're a
Australian.
bunch of fucking elephants.
Aussie, mozzie, prozzie.
Excuse me, today. Hello.
Here we go.
My name
I'm spiking.
is...
My audio is spiking, Francois.
Is it?
Yeah. Is it not peaking there? No. Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe
No.
element, maybe.
That's just a touch. I also move it back and forth. It's better to be a little bit.
The nice thing is we can isolate Andrew's track and like cut
it
it.
Just
Yeah,
delete it,
when it,
right?
yeah, when it,
That's probably best, seeing as how much I fucked up last podcasts.
oh
I
man.
said so much stupid shit. Oh my
No,
God.
you said such good
Hold
things.
it farther down.
Yeah,
Just a relaxed fit, I think.
that's probably
That's
good.
where we're going from. Oh, you're right.
Welcome to Martin Sun Stacey. What can I for today?
G'day, Stacey. I'll have 3 sausage bagel belts on cheese bagels, please.
Okay.
And then I'll have 1 large black coffee and 2 large French vanillas.
1 large black coffee, 2 large French vanilla. Any hash browns?
No, I think we'll be all right.
Okay. Do you need a drink tray for these today?
Yes, please.
It's going to come to 1962 if your screen is correct.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Stacey. Jesus Christ.
Good night, Stacey.
I don't know
what
what-
you said.
my
Good night.
Guys,
My accent picked up so good and I just nailed it.
Yeah. You really did. That's the best part is I think between you and I, we could each pick an accent that we're good enough at,
And just do it.
genuinely meet people that we don't know and fool them into thinking that we.
She definitely thinks we're Australian, which is awesome.
No one else talk unless you can pull off the.
Fuck yeah, Stacey.
Australia.
Yeah, but I could fucking be sitting around with two fucking blokes from Canada, you stupid fucking snow monkeys. The problem with the Australian accent is that I rarely pick up the swearing because it's so fun to swear in Australian. It's awesome. If you've never sworn in Australian, then do it. It's a language like Mexican or Chinese.
I only swear in Canadian.
Yeah. I hate swearing in Canadian. But swearing in Australian, unfucking real, but actually, fuck you. G'day, Stacey. Hello. Fuck me.
I always said good eye. Like it's just too perfect. Good eye, Stacey. I'll take 3 sausage bagel belts on Chase Bagels, please. And I'll take 2 large French vanillas.
I just
and
about
a large black coffee.
You know what? I just about fucking figured out that the Canadian word for fucking savoury donuts. What do you call your fucking savoury donuts? You call them bagels.
Savoury donuts.
Yeah, it's fucking savoury donuts. That's what we call them.
I've got an uncle. His name's Funky. Because they don't have bagels are a North American thing, aren't they?
Probably originated in the UK, like most.
Okay, so
New York.
European. They don't have them in South Africa at all. Not.
Yeah, but there's no food. It's like oh, there's no cream corn either. Well, there's nothing to eat. Oh.
I mean, back to the original point. Yes, there's no bagels in South Africa. So whenever my uncle ever comes down here, or my family goes, or my parents, or we go to visit him, he always makes us take him a whole shit ton of bagels.
On debit, please.
No. Yeah, I'll go to do my co-pilot duties. Here's one for you. My mic's falling. Can't get up. Here's my mic. Yeah, lots of sounds here.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Christ almighty, too many things on me plate.
On me fucking plate.
Here, you're going to stop at this stop sign here, and you're going to take your coffee out, put it in the drink holder. See your coffee there. Black coffee.
Well, let's go for a fucking ride.
Where should we drive to? Let's drive somewhere interesting. I don't know what exactly. Could you do that one more time, Brad?
What? Oh, sorry. I didn't fucking.
Okay.
I didn't even see you there.
It's okay.
I can't hear you.
Franny D.
Okay.
No problem. It's quite hot.
Fuck you. I hate these fucking guys.
Okay. Last thing I'm gonna do. Turn this camera to me here. Frame that.
Yeah. Square mine up a touch.
It's a maker dinner.
Okay, well, where should we fucking head? Let's go on a journey through all time that's changing all the time. It's time to go to time.
We don't really want to. We're going to miss our show.
Why don't we, because
Don't be stupid, friend.
we only really discussed that in the first unreleased podcast, so why don't you guys update the audience on a beautiful web series?
So, there's these extremely talented guys.
From the UK, I
I'm not
believe.
sure where they're situated.
Thank you.
But they do a series called Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. You can watch it on YouTube. They've got 3 episodes done. They're incredibly high quality and
Like, incredibly high quality.
spectacularly hilarious. It's some of the driest,
This
subtlest,
is co-piloting. so
darkest
see.
humor you'll ever witness, and it's absolutely genius. 100%. After you listen to this podcast, go to YouTube, type in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Watch them sequentially.
Yes, watch
obviously.
this
Yeah.
Watch 1, 2, 3. Watch 1, 2, 3. You will not be disappointed. They are fantastic.
You might have to watch them twice to get the humor,
Yeah.
and then once you lock in, you're fucking set.
Once you get what they're throwing down, then you gotta watch the first one until you think it's funny. Then watch 2 and 3.
Yeah, the humor is very subtle and weird, but when you get into it, it's brilliant.
And don't be put off by the fact that you think it's a children's show.
It's not.
It's not a children's
It's
show.
very, very much is not. Do not,
Do not allow your children to watch it. Yeah, so it's been warm in Saskatoon recently.
Really warm.
Snow is melting. We've had
Above freezing. Crazy.
Yeah. I posted a video on my Facebook not that long ago. It's a Rick Mercer short from the early 2000s. It's called Environment Canada, something about Environment Canada. And essentially in the video, it's like the snow's up to the door and it's middle of winter. And they're checking Environment Canada. It's like, oh, check the short-term forecast. It's like, oh, -20, -20, -20. She's like, so, honey, check the long-term forecast. He's like, oh, God. And she's like, what? And she like goes over to the computer and he's like weeping. It's like, it's +1. He says +1. And then
4 days later, though.
And then it's the next day. He's like, wow, they changed the forecast for Saturday, -20 again. But look, it's Sunday, +1. And then it cuts the guy at Environment Canada. He's like, yeah, at Environment Canada, we like to give people a little bit of hope. So we lie about the weather all the time.
That's awesome. The Rick Mercer Report, is that still a thing?
I believe so. I don't know how you see new episodes, though. I haven't seen one in so long.
I mean, like, occasionally I'll see people post links to interviews Rick Mercer does. So he's definitely still doing stuff. But yeah, that show was really, really good. Like,
the problem with the Rick Mercer Report, and this hour's 22 minutes, and shows like that is, once you've seen it, or once the time when it's relevant passes, the episodes become a little bit difficult to re-air.
Oh, you mean like reruns?
Yeah.
Well, it's like a news show, right? A comedy news show. So I mean, that's like that'd be like trying to rewatch an old episode of Wolf Blitzer or like Anderson Cooper.
Like some of their references to Stockwell Day, who fell out of the political spotlight in 2001, becomes difficult to follow because the jokes are also based on a specific situation that's happening at the current time.
Yeah.
But they're still hilarious.
He's a really talented guy. I just like that Canada has its own show.
Very good show.
Yeah, like George Stropolopoulos, another good show. Not obviously, well, it's not. He's pretty funny too.
He's incredible at getting people to talk about themselves. He can really, very good interviewer. The other person who amazes me, and you would never guess is great at doing that kind of thing, is
Gian Gomeshi.
Oh Jesus, no.
Jesus, no.
He'll get you to do all kinds of stuff you weren't going to do before.
Well, I think it's more like he'll force it to happen.
Things that you're not comfortable
without your consent, he'll just kind of do stuff. No, but I know you guys don't really listen to too much satellite radio talk shows, but if you know the Opie and Anthony channel at all,
Absolutely.
Ron Bennington of Ron and Fez, without Fez, because he's just a lame part of the show. I don't know why he's on there. Anyways, he does Ron Bennington's Unmasked, where he gets celebrities on a show and he interviews them about whatever for like 3 hours, and he is actually a brilliant interviewer.
Really?
He really gets these people to loosen up and talk about interesting things that they probably wouldn't have talked about if it wasn't for coming on the show. Like, it's not just the typical press tour bullshit that you would hear every time. It's actually kind of a unique experience, and he really gets them talking about interesting things. So I definitely recommend checking that out, especially if there's a, you should have all his things on iTunes. If you look, I believe is where you can find them. And if you have a favorite celebrity, look it up and really find. There was one with Bryan Cranston, I believe, that was so interesting.
Brian is an interesting guy.
Oh, very, yeah.
Let's talk for something about very topical right now. How good is the fucking bagel belt?
I was just about to comment. It is spaghetti.
They're so fucking good.
It is really so good.
Cheese bagel also.
And it's like not
almost too much.
it's not McDonald's, so I don't feel like killing myself after.
Oh my god.
What is it in Family Guy? Burger Queen?
Yeah, Burger Queen and
Those fresh fries and McDaniels.
And McDaniels.
It's not McDaniels, so it doesn't make me want to kill myself. We didn't get any Diet Conks though.
Yeah, no Diet Coke.
Or fresh fries.
Is it in Family Guy that they have like those things are obviously you know what they are, and then they stop and they're like, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we all know what restaurant we're talking about here.
Yeah, they do that. It would be nice if we had our own legal team to tell us what's okay and what isn't.
That would be fantastic.
What? Oh,
Where are we going?
I mean,
I'll just try.
a good suing makes you learn quickly, I think.
Can you just text Heather and tell her, no, it's fine.
Yeah. No, it's fine. We can reorganize.
Yeah, we'll reorganize.
We want you at your best.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we don't. She's been barfing since 4 a.m. I don't want to interview her.
Jeez Louise.
No, that's fine.
Sounds awful.
We can.
Like, what are the chances?
She got sick?
Yeah. It's almost akin to like Barack Obama getting sick before his inaugural speech.
How funny would that have been?
We want you at your best.
It's like, yeah.
And just pukes all over the bottle.
It's like Obama's got diarrhea, really bad diarrhea.
Like
He can't
be
speak.
sworn in today.
And then you'd yell, yeah. Somebody yells out, "Show us your birth certificate."
Donald Trump.
He's not sick. He just doesn't have a birth certificate.
Donald Trump is waiting in the wings.
What a ridiculous
That's such
thing.
a ridiculous thing. 'Cause Donald Trump is also just a ridiculous human being.
Yeah, he
Oh, yeah,
is.
he is totally. And his hair is not fooling anybody.
No, it's not.
No. He's
He's got a short pecker. Let's talk about
and
it.
he's just so evil.
He's
Yeah.
a bad person.
He's just not a good person.
Again, I remember years ago, like his show, The Apprentice. I kind of had a respect for him because I'm like, oh, he was really a self-made man.
But he's
But
not.
he's such a deplorable person.
But he's also not really a self-made man.
Well, I mean,
Didn't he like inherit a bunch of money?
No. I'm pretty sure Trump's he did it.
No,
all.
he took out a bunch of loans. That's what he did,
yeah.
and then defaulted on a bunch of them, or something. Like he did. So, like he that whole thing is kind
He's
of.
made
a
and
myth.
lost a fortune.
No,
Yes.
He's very.
He made a fortune, lost it, and then made another fortune.
He's a genius businessman,
Jesus.
but he's a
that's
deplorable human being.
I can't even drink it.
Yeah,
It's
they're
so
definitely
hard.
rocking him hot today.
That's so. You gotta move this audio. Brad, keep going with the
There's
audio.
a lot of rich people there. Mark Zuckerberg, genius, but he's not a particularly good guy.
No. I think I might have to join you there, Brad. That's good call.
The thing with Mark is, I don't know how accurately the Social Network depicted his circumstance. Not that I know it.
Well, I
it
mean,
was pretty
it was
probably
exaggerated.
pretty fictionalized, but
You mean
At the very
you mean
least,
Justin Timberlake didn't start Napster?
of course he did.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's how he
that's
got
just
famous.
like a fact.
Like when he
like
said
gravity.
when I'm bringing sexy back, he was like selling it on Napster.
I don't like JT singing at all, but I like JT. I like him.
I'm bringing sexy
funny.
back is a pretty good song.
He's a cool guy. I like Justin Timberlake.
I don't like the auto tuning in I'm bringing sexy back. He sounds like a woman.
Well, like I said,
No,
I
I
don't
don't.
like him because of his singing.
I like some like his.
It was more. I guess it's more so what the time period that song reminds me of, and less about the actual song.
You know what? And the other thing is,
Holy Grail is a good song.
eat his shit if you don't think NSYNC was actually good. Backstreet Boys were garbage. They actually were not good musically. NSYNC, everyone in there was super talented.
There's Backstreet Boys songs and NSYNC songs that I thought were good.
No strings attached. Yeah, I used to listen to NSYNC. It's a great shame of mine.
It's your greatest shame.
Yeah, but everyone always compared them or said them in the same breath, and they weren't really all that similar. Backstreet
Yes,
Boys were all
yeah,
about
they were.
marketing, and NSYNC was all about actually talented guys that got together and sang.
Well, one really talented guy, and then
Yeah, but like Lance Bass was really talented. And, no, is he a Backstreet Boy? Bass was a Backstreet Boy, but he wasn't a very good singer. Did he end up going
I have no
into outer
idea.
space?
I know that in NSYNC there's JT and there's Joey Fatone, and those are the only two I ever remember. There's Robot Chicken did a skit on.
Yeah. I don't know. Justin Timberlake. He had that Alpha Dog. Did you see that?
Yes, I actually like that movie.
That was a very good movie.
Yeah. It's dark.
I did not like him in Bad Teacher. He was awful.
Well, was that him being awful, or was that just an awful character?
No, well, maybe both, but even the way he portrayed it, it's like nobody would ever.
No one would ever act that way.
No director said act like this, and then he acted exactly as if.
Like this.
Act like this.
Yeah, that's how you direct, actually. You say act like X,
Yeah.
and then sit back and watch until they act like X.
That's what they told us in school.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Fucking School of Hard Knocks.
Hey, here's the thing. Love Guru. You both saw that, right?
Oh,
I
yes.
never
I
did see
don't
it.
remember the movie at all. Was it any good?
Not
No?
really.
Not even.
Mike
Well,
Myers?
The issue
Yeah.
is that, like,
That was supposed to be his comeback movie.
How do
and it
I-
just tanked so hard.
how do I compare something else to Love Guru? The thing is, I think that it's partly because he has such a high standard set with Wayne's World
SNL.
and SNL and, well, Austin Powers is what I'm thinking of primarily.
Oh, wow, yeah.
His movies. We're talking about his movies. So,
Yeah.
for Love Guru to even be considered one of his good movies, he has to reach a par that is so high.
That's true.
Like Austin Powers, in my comedic genius. I keep saying comedic genius. Just the timing, everything about it,
That's so
just
good.
brilliant.
We should watch Austin Powers.
I just hate watching a movie like Austin Powers where a person plays more than one character and then watching Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler. What is up with Jack and Jill? Why did that happen?
What's up with Adam Sandler, for that matter? Like, what
Yeah.
happened to that guy?
Since Click is arguably his last decent movie.
What
Yeah,
about
Click's a good movie.
I
what
like
about the
Click,
movie
but-
with Seth Rogen?
Which one was that?
Comedy Man.
Funny People.
Funny
Funny
People.
People. See, Funny People wasn't a comedy though; it was like a drama.
Yeah,
It was
but
a
it's
good
still
movie.
him
It was a
acting.
good
It was-
movie, but it was a drama.
Because Click's also not a
It was
comedy.
good, but how they marketed that movie was, oh my
It was a
gosh,
comedy.
Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill,
Yeah.
comedy. And
Was it
it
Jonah
wasn't at
Hill?
all. Yeah, Jonah Hill was in it. Yeah.
Oh, really?
No, the best part of that whole movie,
Mhm.
the best, is Eric Bana, and
Yeah.
he doesn't hide his Australian accent, so he has his accent. And there's this one part where they're like skimming through the channels, him and his wife are skimming through the channels, and he's like, "Hun, come watch this movie with me," and she's like, "No, fuck you, you're a dirty, cheating, whatever," and he's like, "But hun, it's Cameron Diaz, fuck." Such a good part.
That's really funny. I like that.
That's like he's the highlight of that film.
My big problem with Jack and Jill is, holy fuck. That's my big problem.
I haven't even seen it.
Oh.
It just looks so
I
wretched.
tried because I'm such an Adam Sandler fan, and
It could have never been good.
there's no
There's no
way,
world.
no way.
It doesn't matter if you got all the best directors in the world, the best everything, filled it with A-list celebrities besides Adam Sandler. As soon as Jill came on screen, the movie was over.
Yeah.
Roll credits.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very, very disappointing.
So you both saw it.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
You know
I
what?
had to shut it off. It was it. I could feel my childhood and my soul slipping away as I watched it, so I had to stop.
Jack and Jill
Yeah.
is worse than the caricature that Family Guy has created around Adam Sandler.
Yes.
Where he just goes like, "Ah!"
He's like, well, he's the worse than the seagull in an Adam Sandler movie. And it's Adam Sandler. This is my bicycle. When I ride it, I like to ring the bell. Ring, ring. And the seagull. Yeah, it was.
This is my friend, he's a seagull.
Yeah. It's I don't even know how to.
How
What
does
is
man
equally
fall
bad?
from such heights?
The problem
Billy
is,
Money, money, money.
no, it's not, because Happy Madison is still a multi-million-dollar production company that is behind the scenes funding so many things and is rocking it.
There's a lot of they still produce a lot of good movies.
A lot of good movies, and they make a fuck ton of
but
money.
Why don't they cast Adam Sandler in one of the good ones?
I don't know if he wants to act anymore.
But he does
He's-
shitty movies
but
though.
Yeah.
The months he comes out of not acting.
I
too,
feel like Jack and Jill was a favor for somebody.
it
Yeah, but
very
there's
well
been
could
a lot
be.
of favors recently.
Not really. What
Well,
else was he
There was
in?
Grown Ups, which was wretched. There was recently.
Yeah,
a
but
movie-
Grown Ups wasn't for you and me.
Grown Ups, yeah.
I
Grown
think
Ups
it's
was for
ready.
my mom and dad.
Well, no, Grown Ups is also for my sister's generation.
Yeah. Older people,
Yeah.
people who are in their 40s
My
with
sister
kids that are in
loved
their
Grown
teens.
Ups. My sister loved Grown Ups. It wasn't. I
I didn't
personally
hate
like
it.
it, but I didn't hate it. Yeah.
I just couldn't stand it.
I don't like Kevin.
didn't-
I don't like Kevin James, so
Yeah,
that
that doesn't help. He had one good role, Hitch. Alfred
Oh, yeah,
Brenneman.
Hitch. Well, hey, Chuck and Larry. That was a good movie.
No,
That
I
was
didn't
funny.
I
right
didn't
up
care
front.
for Chuck and Larry.
I really liked him in that fucking boxing movie.
Oh,
where
Here
he's a
Comes the
teacher.
Boom, the MMA movie.
I didn't see that one.
That was the
Very
only
good.
Kevin, and I like I hate
I
Kevin
heard that it was
James.
a good movie.
I
Yeah,
hate
I
Kevin
didn't
James.
see it solely because Kevin James.
It's actually quite good. You get over he's totally different than he is in most movies, and you totally get over the fact that it's Kevin James. And
You know what? I
it's
would
actually
love.
well
I would
done.
love to do a recut of Paul Blart Mall Cop, where
Oh.
it starts and he's like doing a goofy thing where he's like, in the beginning of the movie, does he like ride a bike around, drink a bunch of pops and stuff in the store after it's closed?
Segue.
Yeah, I would love that. And it's like he rolls up to his office, like it's all super funny, and like zooms in his hand, he's spinning his keys, and then a guy just walks up, presses a Desert Eagle to his head, and just blows his fucking brains out. Credits roll.
Did you see Observe and Report?
Yes.
I haven't, and I should. I need to watch it.
You should watch that.
It is the funny version of Paul Blart Mall Cop.
It's
basically.
so good.
So
But I
funny.
remember seeing the movie, and because it's very dark. I remember seeing it and being like,
The
this
problem with Paul Blart Mall Cop is,
depressingly dark.
if you have Kevin James in a role, the script just reads, fart, you're fat, fatty, you're fucking fat, fart a bunch, and fall down, because you're fat, and it's hilarious. And it's like, what about the lines? Like, no, just ad-lib, whatever, as long as you continue to fart and burp, and then fall down, and be heavy. Just be overweight, and it will be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin James.
You know, the thing that's funny is, because I'm a huge Joe Rogan fan, huge Joe Rogan Experience fan. That's actually kind of what got me interested in podcasts and podcasting. And he's actually talks about being good friends with Kevin James all the time, and how before he kind of went the route of the Family Guy and doing all this kind of family-oriented slapstick comedy, goofy. Look at me, I'm fat and I fart and I fall down. Ha ha ha! Give me your money, stuff. He was actually a very talented stand-up comedian. And
Oh, I
he
don't
had a
doubt
very
that.
talented, like he had a pretty decent stand-up career and kind of just went that route because that he could make money that way, and that was fine. So it's just interesting to see how.
Oh my
I actually
God.
have to look it up. But
I totally forgot about this. We have to get down and watch more Hollywood Husbands of Hollywood. That show was so funny.
So
that was
funny.
very funny.
Yeah.
It was so good.
I was very impressed because the thing is, like, I'm not a huge. What's that guy's name?
Chris Rock, or no, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. I'm not a huge Kevin Hart guy, and like I know people who are like diehard Kevin Hart fans, but like I've never been terribly impressed by Kevin Hart. Like I said, I was talking to somebody while we were watching that show, and it just he comes off to me as if he's just trying to.
Well, you don't like similar style to him. It's like Kevin Hart or Samuel L. Jackson or Chris Rock or
Bill Cosby
or right?
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
or-
like those kind of guys.
I don't
What-
know
what
the
all
co-
those- what do they
I
have
don't
in
know what the
common?
common thread is between those people.
Yeah.
But you
There's
just can't seem
something
to.
about him. There's just a
Like
nerd.
Nelson Mandela, you're
There's-
not funny.
There's this.
You're
right.
You're not a funny guy. There's just a nerd.
Don't you mean
feeling
Morgan
deep down
Freeman?
in my gut
Yeah, Morgan Freeman
that
is.
that I just don't like.
Oh,
But,
Morgan Freeman is at the end of Stick of Truth.
oh, is it?
He's the one who announces Kenny's backstory.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's
And then it's
awesome.
like, Morgan Freeman, why are you here? It's like, because every time I tell the truth, I get a freckle.
Or explain something.
Explain something.
Um,
I earn a freckle.
yeah, the show Real Husbands of Hollywood. Yeah, like I was saying, not a big Kevin Hart guy. I always feel like he's trying to overcompensate for his height. So like his comedy is always so
Big.
it's
Over
so
the top.
so over the top, yeah. But this show is so well written and it's such a unique idea. I was very impressed. Definitely give Real Husbands of Hollywood a watch.
It's so good.
So good, yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I was
surprised.
very apprehensive in the first episode.
Yeah.
I actually kept repeating myself, you don't like this. You don't like this.
This isn't your kind of
Yeah.
thing.
You don't like this kind of thing.
But then it's like they're all yelling at each other and they have those ridiculous subtitles.
Yeah.
That
Fran, can you throw the headphones on quick and just see what kind of background noise we're getting?
It's not bad. I'm getting some, but my levels are a little high. Yeah. I don't know. It's
How do we sound?
I mean, I can hear it, but
It's probably not nearly as bad as it was before.
no. Just speak, Brad.
Hello, hi there.
Brad, there's the hazards there, just so you know.
Yeah.
Just because we're podcasting, I don't mean to do my typical backseat driving. I'm a horrible backseat driver.
Passenger seat driver.
Yeah, well, term is backseat driving, but I mean,
Oh, I'm not. I'm not
You
aware.
don't
Does
say.
it sound bad or what?
Yeah, whatever.
Well, no, because we each have a mic on us, it sounds fine. Yours definitely is
The worst?
the worst because it's on the dash. It's kind of, you can sit and tell it's like, but I mean, like, it's totally usable.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
See, the thing is with this, we might be able to put it in audition and pull a little bit of that, just a touch out.
Yeah.
Because
You
that
just
other one, it
lower it
was
a little
too
bit.
much with
Why do all these people have their
Our
hazards
first
on?
car one was almost usable. Like, my audio was totally usable. It was just that we didn't really have a mic on you guys. We just had that.
Yeah, exactly.
little one that wasn't really
that
anything.
Omni mic.
So where are we headed right now, Jim?
We're just driving. We're just driving.
We're not in the city anymore, that's for sure.
No, we're not.
on
We're
the
not.
road again.
We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
I gotta see that movie again.
Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
I've just had to see it so many different times for so many different things. I don't think I'd want to watch it.
Yeah,
again.
you're driving real fast, and you're the safety supervisor. Congratulations.
Safety supervisor.
I had to watch that Wizard of Oz for 2 different film classes in university and film class in high school, and I had to write a paper on it all 3 times. So
I had to watch it once in my first year at film school. And it was very, very interesting. Because they talked to us about how when they convert, because it was the first color film, they
Yes.
were talking to us about how the colorists had to go take the film, the celluloid, and paint the colors in, frame by frame.
Yeah.
that's so tedious.
There was probably a lot of them.
Huh?
There was probably a lot of them.
There's probably several of them. I'm just saying that's quite a feat.
This is a big contention I have with things in the past were so much tougher than they are today. All these jobs that people used to do, like for example in farming, they used to have to cut it and then stook it and then throw it into the thrash machine, and that was tough work. There was also 90 of you, like because everybody in the community helped everyone farm. So they try and make it out as if one person would go through an entire field, cut it all down, put it in a pile. It's like, fuck you. You try running a GPS and be bored out of your mind. See, the thing with physical activity and this, like 100 years ago, eventually if you do it enough, you're going to get in shape and it's going to get easier. Boredom never gets easier. You can't train to be bored.
That's so funny.
It's true. It's a very interesting point.
Like, you will eventually get super ripped with amazing cardio, and then it's so easy just to fucking
Do things all day.
just do stuff all day. Because that's what they did. People in that generation, they just went out and they did stuff all day.
And they just go,
It's like, we're just doing
they got
things.
so ripped.
Yeah. Everyone, that's like,
Everyone was so muscular back in the 50s.
for example, in the Hutterite, with the Hutterites, well, and your dad knows this better than anybody else, they come in constantly into the medical clinic. We're so sick. He's like, well, you're fat. Like, you're so fat. Well, so why do we get fat? Because you have a culture and a diet that's so rich in bleached carbohydrates and sugar
And butter.
and so much butter. And in the past, you used to do tons of manual labor, and now you don't. So now you're just gaining a bunch of weight.
Because they're eating like they're working all day. Like, not that they're not working, but doing
It's just different.
physical activity
Yeah.
all day. Yeah.
It's just not the same. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Hutterites are not hardworking, like you just said. But
incredibly hardworking.
yeah, they're incredibly hardworking people.
But just
It's
the nature of farming has just changed so drastically.
yeah, so drastically that it's just not the same.
Yeah.
I have to say though, when it comes to the film industry, I am not interested in the slightest in going back to before the digital age.
Yeah.
Filming?
Never, not even
Yeah.
once.
No. I do not want to use film. I don't want to cut by hand.
What if you do one short film in actual film?
I just don't think it'd be. I just don't see the.
But what if it fills you with a sense of
artistic pride.
yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll
It
try
very
one
well
day
could.
when I've got lots of money and I don't give a shit about wasting money on film. The only issue is, as of yet, that's not the thing. It just sounds like the most tedious thing ever. It's like, I had a bunch of friends at film school who really wanted to work with film and were super excited and thought it was awesome. And all I kept thinking was, yeah, but if you fuck up, you just wasted money, like a lot
Hundreds
of money.
of hundreds
Because
of
film
dollars
isn't
at least.
cheap.
No.
And so yeah, I'm all for digital, and
It's actually probably gotten more expensive since it stopped being used.
Yeah.
yeah,
Are there lots of people still using film?
there's a lot of big filmmakers who swear by, like Christopher Nolan's a guy who still uses film. He'll use film till the day he dies. But I think most people are starting to switch over. I think Lars von Trier uses film still.
It's just so much more practical.
To go digital.
To be digital, it's so much more practical.
It's just the whole. The
How
whole
do you
thing
CG with film?
Huh?
Do you have to digitize the footage?
Yes.
Yes.
Like that just seems like,
That seems so
Too s-
arbitrary.
yeah.
It seems so tedious. Why would you?
well, it's so counterintuitive
Yeah.
to film something and then.
Well,
Run it through a
the
machine
whole
and
argument with
digitize
film
it.
is we had this debate at school a couple times. It's the same debate with vinyl. It's like people hold on to vinyl, but it's like why? Why do people hold on to vinyl? The quality of the sound is better. There's nothing better about it. It has a certain quality to it. It's just like a digital file technically is superior because it's flawless. Vinyl ages and then it changes and it's
The pop and the crack and the hiss when you listen to it.
But there's a lot of people
Yeah.
who like that and the aging and they like that stuff. And it's same with film. It's just like I like it to vinyl. Technically, there's nothing better about vinyl or film than their digital counterpart. But there's just something about it that people love.
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing I will say that differs between vinyl and film, as far as filming things going for like in current climate versus recording. Like I think recording current vinyl. What's the point of buying like the Mumford and Sons record? But when you're listening to music from the past, classic music, and it's on vinyl, you feel, at least for me, and this is going to sound so just pretentious and lame, but it's like you're kind of connected to that music. This is how people of the time listen to that music.
Oh, I totally
That's what
understand.
I'm
So-
saying though. It's a feeling. It's not.
It is.
It's got
not-
nothing to do
it's
with
no-
the actual quality of the sound.
It's a totally intrinsic value
Yeah,
that
exactly.
you place on it yourself.
And I can totally respect that. But I have had people come up to me and say like, vinyl sounds better, and it's like, no, technically it doesn't sound better. Like you like it, that's fine. But it doesn't. There's nothing. The quality of the sound is not better.
No.
No. Not necessarily.
Me and Thomas, my friend Thomas, we
and I.
all our friend Thomas and I always have, not always, but I mean we've often had the debate about vinyl. Because he's a big guy who thinks
Wow.
it actually sounds better. And it's,
Thomas
Yeah.
also, if you're listening, has ridiculous concepts around using handkerchiefs to blow his nose still, and would prefer to have his 2001 Honda instead of his 09. You're not a hippie.
Or hipster.
You're a Western
Wow.
Canadian.
You are a
You
hipster.
don't live in that community. You're not from Vancouver. You're not from Brighton. Stop.
come back to Texas. It's just not the same since you went away. What'd you say? Speaking of Owen Honda, I do also love the Owen Honda. That car was my
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Great.
sentimental
8, 9,
connection to it, but it's also not as good of a vehicle as his new car.
My plan for
That's true.
when I'm rich one day is I'm going to buy that Owen Honda, and I'm going to take it to Honda and be like, I need you to refurbish this back to exact default
Well,
factory
you
settings.
wouldn't take it to Honda. They wouldn't do that.
Why? If I paid
'Cause-
them enough, I would.
No, because they won't do it. They don't have those parts. You'd have to
Okay.
order them all secondhand.
Whatever, I'll go to some specialist and be like, I need you to restore this car to exact factory default setting. Like,
Yeah.
exactly as it was as it drove off the lot. And that's what I want, and that's what I will give Thomas on his, I don't know,
Whatever.
what's a
40th
hippie-
birthday?
What's a hippie day?
Earth Day.
Birthday?
Yeah, give it to him on Earth Day. No, there's probably like, fuck the patriarchy, you pigs day.
Pigs Day.
Yeah, let's move away from this. You know what? I'm glad that we kind of dove into those serious topics. The last couple podcasts, it was a different.
We really don't want serious.
It was very serious. I think we're mostly gonna. It's mostly gonna. I feel like this podcast is gonna be a lot of. Excuse me. Of us bullshitting and just kind of
Yeah, like,
having fun. You
yeah,
know, being
absolutely.
funny.
variety hour,
Trying
that's
too
for
hard,
sure.
maybe. Yeah, lots of different topics, random, but yeah. What's something else we could talk about? It's maybe a little bit lighter since it's 9:30 in the morning.
I didn't sleep a wink last night.
Yeah, Frontal
Yeah.
stayed up all night.
I stayed up. I was up till 4, and I got maybe 2.5 hours of sleep.
I went to bed at an appropriate time and got a full sleep.
That's excellent. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm so jealous.
I'm still pretty tired. I only got 5 hours of sleep 2 nights ago.
Camera keeps moving. That's going to be a pain in the ass to edit.
I don't really know. I've never really just driven around the city in the morning like this. I didn't think the traffic. I thought the traffic would be a lot worse. Saskatoon has grown immensely in the past 5 years, and traffic is starting to get really out of hand because the city is way too big for the infrastructure we have in place.
Well, not to mention that this highway is supposed to be efficient Circle Drive, randomly just cuts through
Yeah,
the middle of the city,
yeah, like
and there's several lights and all these inconveniences. It's supposed to be this very
serious
yeah,
bottleneck.
it's a very big bottleneck, and it's just so inefficient. I don't know why they would have designed it that way.
Yeah,
but
no, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I can't imagine that being why anyone would ever do that.
the other thing, I'm so glad that I'm not living in Toronto now or for the foreseeable future, just because of the situation with climate. Well, climate for sure. They've received 15 centimeters of snow. It's like blizzarding there right now, but also just the traffic is just atrocious there, worse than it's been in years.
Oh, I spilled a bit.
Toronto's known for bad traffic, and it's
really
awful.
bad.
It's
Well, I
really
mean,
bad.
That's like it's really becoming this problem of like Calgary, man. When we were there, ridiculous.
I
So
can't.
much construction.
Calgary. Like I'm actually getting over my fear of city driving swiftly.
You know, the only way to do it is to
Drive.
To do it.
But I
yeah.
mean, like Calgary is just scary, always.
What a useless piece of advice. The only way to get over that is to get over it.
Well, at the end of the day,
That's kind of what you gotta do.
trial by fire, and
Yeah, you're
With-
big about trial by fire.
I
That's your
love
thing.
trial by fire. Andrew had to borrow my car this summer to go to Dog Patch Music Festival,
And all over the province.
and all
just
over the province.
networking
And he
shit.
didn't know how to drive standard, and I taught him
I
in
didn't
one
know-
day,
I
and
didn't
then
know
I was like, I'll
standard.
leave.
I also never had to use north, south, east, west directions, which was the only way to get to a lot of the places I was going.
Yeah, you definitely learned a lot.
So in 3 days, Brad taught me, and I just was sent off on my own to hopefully figure it out. And luckily, I didn't have any issues really.
No, you put a big crack in my brand new windshield, but
That wasn't entirely my fault.
I had a brand new windshield, and he cracked it. So
I was behind the wheel, yes.
So beautiful.
So
I was behind the wheel.
I'll take responsibility for that because I was driving.
so
but
beautiful. No, it's fine. I'm just kidding. I don't care. I got another
it's
new
not like
windshield.
I stopped the car and found a rock and threw it at the windshield.
As far as I'm concerned, that might have happened.
Might as well have happened.
No, not might as well. It may have happened. I have no. All I have is your word. Oh God.
That's awesome. I love when that happens. I'm gonna stop for a moment, tape this GoPro up,
Okay.
just because it's a thing I can do. I don't know why I didn't do it from the get-go. Really, it was an oversight on my
Just
part.
driving past the Educational Institute, formerly known as SIAST,
What's it called now?
Saskatchewan Polytechnic, I believe.
Holy, this doesn't sound.
It sounds like ITT Tech.
SIAS sounds Saskatchewanian.
It does, but the problem with SIAST is no longer an institute for applied sciences and technology because they offer university level courses.
Polytechnic.
And they offer several different disciplines. I get why they wanted to do it. I just think they could have chosen a better name. They could have
I don't
gone
know, that
about it.
might stick.
I don't know.
Polytechnic just sounds so professional.
Yeah, technical professional.
And we don't live in a professional province.
I would
We live in a
disagree.
chill province.
You know what?
We live in a chill
Especially
province. People are
Saskatoon.
friendly.
You can be professional and friendly.
I really love it out here. So, you know,
We're not like them big city kids
Yeah.
over at the...
We should probably talk about Saskatchewan a bit more. Then
think
people
so.
can identify with the podcast, because that's definitely our target audience.
Well,
right
then
now.
let me just segue nicely into this, just because I have a kind of a unique perspective, coming back and forth several times, being from Ontario, but also my parents are from Saskatchewan, so I've kind of been, I would say, raised in that kind of Saskatchewan way, if that's really a thing.
Everyone knows that's a thing.
Yeah, so raised in that kind of way, and spent a lot of time here, and I know that, and a lot of time in Ontario, so I can kind of attest to what's similar and different, especially about the people, right? Because I've met so many different ones. And I think the big thing that I've noticed is people in Ontario, nobody has fucking time. No one has time for anyone or anything. I mean, I once stopped, there was someone, it was super busy, traffic just starting to pick up. These people had, their car had stalled, their battery died, and they were in the middle of this intersection, and they were just frantic, and no one was stopping. I had booster cables in my car. It was obvious they just needed a boost. Pulled over quick, and they were amazed. They thought they were gonna have to wait for a tow truck. Couldn't believe that someone would take, it was literally
seconds.
5 minutes out of my day to help these people. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was a revelation, because no one would ever do that in Ontario. Saskatchewan, it happens all the time. People pull people out of the ditch, help them get unstuck.
I got stuck the other day,
Yeah.
and probably, I'll say like 8 out of the 10 people who passed me stopped and asked me if I was okay, if I needed help, or if I needed a push. Like, nobody had a tow rope, which was kind of weird, but everybody stopped and was like, "Hey, do you need a push, or do you need help or anything?" So that was super nice.
It's amazing the mindset, how different it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that people in Ontario aren't nice, because that's such a loaded term, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, if you actually have an interaction with somebody, it's fine, but in general, the kind of day-to-day minor interactions that you have with people, that you interact with them and you never see them again, are far less positive often. And I find that out here, I think there's kind of this idea of we all have to contend with this super harsh weather, and we all know how horrible this weather is, so let's just be nice to each other, because we can at least do that.
Well, and it's really a community thing.
It is, very much is.
I think that, and correct me if I'm wrong, obviously there are certain stereotypes about being Canadian. It's like Canadians are overly nice and overly polite and overly helpful and yada yada yada. And I feel like Western Canada really embodies that.
Yeah, it's true.
That, and not that Eastern Canadians don't. It's just not to the same extent.
I think that there's a certain thing that happens to
I'm filming a police officer right now.
anyone who when population gets so dense like that, I think it's bound. I think it's probably a very similar thing in the United States. The less densely populated areas are a lot more friendly and welcoming, or at least are perceived that way. And the denser populous areas are kind of more.
Oh, absolutely.
More busy. Like, no one has time. That's the thing that always pisses me off. Is everyone is so.
Nobody's got fucking time.
No one's got time for anything.
No. I got no time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, so it's a very interesting experience, and I'm talking small town Ontario also. I'm not just talking Toronto.
Yeah.
It's better, but it's still not anywhere near the levels that we're talking about.
I mean, Saskatchewan's always been really about brotherhood and togetherness and community, and I mean, really, Saskatchewan's born on a foundation of agriculture and that sort of community, small town community. And it really transcends the rural communities, because you don't need to be in a rural community, because that's the foundation of the entire province. Whereas I feel in Eastern Canada it's more diplomats and politicians were the first people there, and they begot more diplomats and politicians, who then
lawyers.
Some of them fell off into poverty and had to get jobs in a sawmill or a what do you call a foundry, like a metal foundry.
Yeah.
And then that 9 to 5, fuck everyone else, I gotta just make it for myself.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing I will also say is it's very easy to get in that mindset when I worked in Toronto, when I was
Fuck all these people.
It is like, especially when you're in traffic, because I was living in Stratford area
Yeah.
and driving into basically downtown Toronto 2 or 3 times a week to work at this internship sort of deal that I got, and that's without traffic, that's a 2.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
With traffic, my commute was probably 8 hours round trip, so I was spending an hour and a half each time probably sitting in traffic, just because there was no way to avoid.
Yeah,
I had to go in at a certain time and leave at a certain time, so there's no way to avoid it. And it's so easy to get this mentality of fuck everyone else, I need to get where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in that mindset and you're sitting behind the wheel and you're just getting frustrated,
Sweaty.
so sweaty, so frustrated.
Yeah.
It's very easy to just kind of disregard everyone else around you.
Fran, what do you think the difference between when you were in Vancouver?
I got very frustrated with Vancouver. When I went over there, I was really terrified, just because a big city, well, massive city, and new people and stuff. But one thing I noticed about people there, and it might just be because I went to film school, so I hung around a lot of those types of people, artistic, like film people.
Yeah.
And they had this air of assumed importance and entitlement, like very, very entitled. It's like, it seems like everybody there, all they care about is, you respect me, you better respect me. It's like, I'm here, I'm whatever. It's like respect is all
Granted, not
It's
earned.
like nobody's there. My big thing is I went to film school, and like the way I dreamed about my dream for making films, my dream for filmmaking is like, if you were to ask me, it's like, Francois, what if you could do anything to make money, anything, I would say I want to make movies with my friends. That's what I want to do. I want to sit down with my friends, come up with funny stuff.
And these guys want to be important.
And these guys want to be very important. And they want to...
It's like when they walk by,
the book.
when they walk by, people go, wow, that person's really important.
It's just, it's like, why does a person want to get into film in the first place? Like, what is the draw? It's a more fun lifestyle than it would be to become an accountant or like a lawyer or something. It seems more, what's the word? More fun, more exotic. It's something crazy. It seems like something that would be exciting. And it is. It seems to me like they want to take the excitement out. They're like, let's make it a military regime where we have to follow this certain code, and it all has to fall under this very strict hierarchy, and there's no room for experimentation and fun. It's by the books, and it was just it was soul-sucking basically, and I was not interested in becoming a part of it at all, and it just seemed like everybody there all kind of had the same mentality, and they all kind of were on the same page, and I just wasn't on that page at all. And so I was like, I didn't get into film to join the military. I got into film so I could make movies with my friends and hopefully make money doing that. And if I don't, that's fine. But if I do, then it's like I have to try, because I mean that's
what you want.
That's what my...
And you know what I've heard? I've heard a lot of people have talked about Vancouver, and I have family from British Columbia, and I know that there's a similar dichotomy between people in Toronto and people in Ontario, and people in Vancouver and the people in the rest of BC.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, are you from Ontario? It's like, yeah. Are you from Toronto? It's like, no, fuck everyone in Toronto.
Yeah, people who are not from Toronto, it's almost like Toronto is its own region or its own thing. It's if you don't actually live in Toronto or the GTA, it's fuck Toronto and everyone in the GTA. Fuck 'em.
Yeah, and then in Vancouver,
yeah,
it's funny because you have such a difference in people. Because all the people I know from rural, that seems so odd, mountain folk, and like, because my family lives like in the backwoods, back in the creeks, and like in the fucking trees on a ranch.
I was gonna say, if you're in BC, you either live in Vancouver or you live in the fucking mountains.
Yeah, but this is like backwood, back in the, anyway. And it's like such a more hardy people, and they're actually really similar to people in Saskatchewan. It's like hardworking community, smaller regions and stuff. And their big thing is it's fucking expensive to live in the mountains because it's very difficult to ship food and resources in. But and then you have these. It's like the people I know from BC, and I'm not saying I'm going to generalize everyone that lives in rural BC, but it's like it's not the artsy community that is in Vancouver. I think Vancouver's a lot of its influences being coastal and being a large hub city. So you draw in a lot of that people that are really artistic and not realistic on how life actually works and stuff.
Oh, it's bad too. It's like people there.
People in Toronto are very business opposed to the arts.
It's weird. It's like people in Toronto and Vancouver. They both suffer from the whole assumed importance thing. They think they're very important.
And the thing is, Brad, that the impression you have of the city is that of driving around all these skyscrapers. And skyscrapers mean business, and business meetings happen there.
Because I'm always down like Dundas, and it's like Yonge Street, and everyone's walking around in suits, and like, we've got suits on. Watch out. It's like even people who don't matter at all also have suits on.
Next time we go to Ontario, I will take you
to Queen Street
West, and watch the hipsters go. Just watch them. Just you think that Broadway is bad? It's the Toronto's Broadway Street.
Like, so your parents aren't proud of you that your hair is dyed really weird and that your pants are way too tight. They're not proud of you.
Actually, this isn't coffee. This is micro blend of different mushrooms.
It's a frappuccino.
I fucking stand coffee shops make. I can't stand a place that you can walk into and be like, I would like a coffee, and they're like, well, what do you mean?
Oh God! Even here, I go in
a bloody coffee.
I go into Broadway Roastery, and like I don't even try anymore. Can I have a coffee? I have a medium roast coffee. Sir, we have 17 medium roast coffees. It's like, where are they? We don't list them. You're supposed to know. What is your favorite medium? It's like, well, I'd like a Colombian. Sir, a Colombian is a light medium roast blend. Colombian is not some Van Hoot at the co-op. It's like, oh, what do you do for a living? It's like, oh, I shovel snow. It's like, oh, you're so artistic. You're such a hipster.
The thing I hate about stuff like that, like I find the specialty coffee community can be so fucking pretentious. And if you don't want people to think of you as pretentious, and you want people to actually become interested in your community, your niche, whatever, that the idea of good coffee is worth it. We should care about coffee. Don't be such a pretentious dick about it.
Yeah.
Actually, can I get a large coffee? Well, actually, we have a lot of different kinds of coffees here. But what do you like? Maybe I could help you pick something out, instead of scoffing at you for not knowing the kinds of blends that they have and what to order. Every time I go in there, I feel like such a stupid asshole.
Yeah, and you go in, they actually don't have anything listed.
No.
And if they do have it listed, they'll have like just a list. It's like cat claw, red bacon, yellow tortoise, and it's like, are those the coffee blends or are those
specialty drinks?
Yeah, like or like, are you talking about like, are they nicknames for your friends?
What does it mean?
Yeah. So
what does it all mean?
I'm sure that there is a immense difference and great value to better coffee and caring about your coffee and taking the time to.
I know that if people that speak Portuguese sing to the beans when they're in their 100% organic free trade sacks.
Yes.
There's
it's not an. I am a. What's the word for me? Kind of a dick. So.
At least you chose a really technical term.
Being in Vancouver just wasn't good. Being around like hippies, well, I shouldn't say hippies. I should say ultra hippies and hyper hipsters and like
all these intense adjectives.
Just
ultra, hyper,
dumb people. I can't stand it. I can't take them seriously even for a second.
Here's my thing about being a hipster. You that's not how you can be when you grow up, so why are you wasting your time?
It's true. So you
have to not do it.
Eventually you have to fucking grow up.
You have to not do it.
I choose to live an alternative lifestyle where
Like, I wish that were true. I wish that you could go to a convent and all of you could live together. And I wish that we could give you camps that we could put you in, where you could all live together. No. I'm talking about like a nice,
like a summer camp.
like a nice summer camp.
You go
Nobody
there on a
gets
train.
gassed. No, no big steel iron horse
No,
trains.
we're not talking about that. We're not going dark again. We're not going serious. This is fun and light and happy.
Hey, Hitler's
Oh,
funny,
I
man.
actually think, how long did we start? We're at, my GoPro says we're an hour 3.
Yeah.
Hour and 3 minutes.
Okay, we'll sign off, make
Yeah.
an end for this one. Oh, no. We turned them on. I've been in hour 3 and we turned them on.
That's
we've
what I'm
been
saying. I
filming
know
for a
there's a
bit.
couple of minutes that we were dilly down.
Let's wrap up the whole hipster thing and then we'll wrap up. And if it's a couple minutes over, whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, I just want to say, like, you gotta grow up eventually. I don't like grow up. Grow up sounds too.
Condescending.
Yeah.
Hi, Prehistoric Productions. We grow up, so fuck you. And no, you don't have to grow up. You can still hold certain values
You
true.
just have to stop being so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so over the top.
What are
It's
they
so
resisting? Like, what are you resisting? What are you resisting? Why are you so resistant?
like.
I read this really interesting article actually that goes along with
I don't know,
this,
ask Thomas.
Because hipsters,
Thomas, I know.
the thing I found that's common amongst hipsters is it's all about not adhering to what is the norm, not conforming.
Yes, absolutely.
And I read this really interesting article, a cracked article actually, and it's about the reasons why not conforming is just as bad or worse as conforming. Like trying so hard to not conform is almost worse than conforming because you're essentially just jumping on a different bandwagon that less people find normal. And I'm obviously talking about doing it for the sake of doing it, not
because
I'm into this fringe culture because I like that thing. That's totally different.
It's weird that all the non-conformists dress the exact same.
That's exactly.
Here's my other thing.
That's exactly one of the points they make in the article.
Here's my other thing. All these people are like, I don't need your goddamn corporate dollars, and I don't need your convenience store, and I don't need your gasoline. Well, fuck you then. Go live in a sod hut, and without electricity, we'll just see how good you do. Also, I feel like if I cut you a check for $5 billion, there'd be a lot of changes in your life. I feel like if I just handed you a bunch of money, you would have a yacht, and your clothes would go out the window, and you would buy yourself a nice Italian suit and fucking shave.
100%.
It's so flaky. You know what? Here's what I'll do. To everyone out there, if you are an honest to goodness hipster, and you really love shitty vinyl of awful music from the 1930s, and you love earrings that you found in the garbage can at a fucking ketamine den, and
Ketamine den,
a K den, and you really like your shitty old beat up car because there's certain sentimental value, good on you. If you're the kind of person that if I cut you a check for $1 billion, your lifestyle will not change at all because that's honestly how you love living, good for you. For everyone else, you're a fucking fake. Stop it. Stop. This is your father speaking.
This is your father.
Quit.
Get yourself a nice pair of jeans. Not slim fit.
Yeah.
Regular cuts. Go get yourself.
How about a cowboy cut?
Cowboy cut.
I wonder if it's if so hear me out here. The whole hipster thing, we can agree. We kind of.
I have no
talking,
problem with
it's
authenticity.
No. Listen. We can agree that for the most part, the whole hipster thing is a phase. It's a fad. It's a style type choice.
I say it's
Akin to let's say punk or what's something.
See, punk's so tough because it's a punk begot hipster. Like punk.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it the same in that these people are eventually going to. Well, we already said, yeah, they're going to grow up and realize.
Hold on, just quick. If you're watching this, go on YouTube and Google search "Evolution of the Hipster." It's with 2 little puppets. It's really hilarious and it actually makes a lot of sense. Anyway, continue.
I'll have to check that out. So my whole point is that with the other fads or styles like goth, punk, anything like that, it's music, but it's also bleeds into everyday life.
Yeah.
They never pretended like, oh, this is this is a culture I'm associated with. It wasn't like this is just me. This is how I am. This is like my lifestyle and who I am. And it seems with hipsters, it's very much they see themselves as this. I'm sorry. I'm not sure exactly what I'm trying to say. But
I think you got some important to say. Go on.
it's I know it's brutal. It's escaping me. Probably because I'm so tired. They seem to be making themselves out to be way more important, whereas other movements in the past, it's all about anti this, we're anti the mainstream, and that's kind of where it stopped. It's like we're anti-mainstream, we like punk music, and that's what we're punk. We're gonna go against the norm and shake things up. And with hipsters, it's like we're gonna go against the norm for the sake of going against the norm, and we're also so much better than you. And this isn't a fad. This is actually who we are.
Yeah, I also don't like the whole look at me, now stop. You know, like,
I can ride my bike with no handlebars. No handlebars. No handlebars.
But
I've heard that song a million times in the last month.
anyway,
Thank you, Francois.
I'm a big fan.
Thank you, Francois.
that's the thing with the hipster movement. I don't understand. Anyway, we
Yeah.
got to wrap this one up. Thanks everyone for listening.
Wow.
just
that was
abrupt.
Well, we have to. Like, we're on like a minute and 10, or 10 minutes. Wait,
All right. Thanks very much for listening, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Tune in for the next episode, which will literally just carry on.
it might just start with hipsters again. No,
Always just- well,
we'll try and figure something out.
I mean,
We'll
we're gonna
see.
film it literally 5 minutes from now.
So, yeah, thanks very much for listening.
Like, subscribe.
Absolutely, yeah. Like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube. Really
Maybe-
appreciate if you can like the
Yeah.
videos. That would be really appreciated.
Share them even.
Shoot us a
maybe.
comment. Yeah, if you want to comment on the video and just say to us, hey, I'd like to give a shout out to Dallas Kirkpatrick. Dallas gave me a comment on our last
Yes,
video.
thanks,
on the
Dallas. Thank you, Dallas.
Thank you so much, Dallas.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you very much for watching it.
If
And
you have suggestions on what we could do better, we're new at this.
yeah,
We wanna
we're
improve.
totally open. And you're right, Dallas. I did have a pretty visceral reaction to when I discovered the term ruckus, and I'm going to try and maybe keep up that sort of high quality, high.
Lingo of
High energy.
young guys.
Yeah.
these days.
So anyway, we're gonna go find some women and do a little bit of the ruckus, and we'll talk to you later. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.